All right, good morning, Team Impact. Let me get set up here on my computer. There we are, it's a little better. Get situated. We are moving on to lesson four. Hey, tomorrow we're going to have a quiz. It's going to be on equations, um, all four operations. You're going to have to show your work just like we've been doing for the last few days. So I hope that makes sense. Let's get into lesson four today. Just had an excellent review on equations. Here we go, more of the same. In preparation for Thanksgiving dinner, Mrs. Walters ordered 18 pounds of turkey. She decides this will be enough to feed 8 people. How many pounds of turkey is she planning per person? Okay, so what we would do is set up 18 on the top, right? That's how many pounds of turkey she has. And she has 8 people. So what I'm going to do is put 8 X's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm just going to pretend that they were evenly split. I have a little bit bigger gap there. I understand that. What's our variable represent? Well, it's going to represent pounds of turkey, all right, per person. Okay, and we're going to write an equation here. So we have 8 people. There's 8 X's equals 18. So to figure that out, we would divide both sides by 8. But it says do not solve, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, setting it up can be difficult, right? So what number times 8 is 18? Well, that's not, 8 twos are 16, so we're going to have a decimal there. All right, let's take a look at number 2. A deck of game cards was dealt equally among 6 players. Each player received 7 cards. Second card. So we have a deck. A deck of cards is 52. How many cards were in how many cards were in the deck, right? So the number of cards in the deck. So we have a deck of cards that were deemly 6 players, right? Each player received 7 cards. So let's go ahead and find out, what does the variable represent? Well, I already gave the answer away. It's going to be the deck. The deck is going to be the number of cards, okay, in the deck. Okay, let's write an equation. Well, X is going to be on top. So if we have 6 players, we're going to divide that number by 6 to get 7, right? 7 cards each. We have 6 players. So how many cards are in the deck? Well, I guess this deck isn't a true deck, so that doesn't really work there. Okay, so if we were going to balance beam, we would multiply both sides by 6, and our answer or our value for X would be 42, not 52. A normal deck has 52 cards. That's where I got that number from. Okay. All right, so I guess I jumped the gun there a little bit. The cell phone bill recorded that Jeremiah sent 532 text messages last week. On average, how many text messages did he send each day? Each day. Well, I know 532 messages, right? And I know we did it over 7 days because it's a week, right? I need to know per day, right? I want to know per day, all right? Let's go ahead and set up our equation. So, interesting, huh? We have 7 days times the number of messages per day equals 532. That's our total. To figure out the value of X, I knew I needed to divide, but to set up an equation, I needed to set it up opposite. Okay? So what I would do is divide both sides by 7. This would cancel. X comes down, right? And you're welcome to use your calculator for this. But if you're watching the video, I'll go ahead and do it for you. 532 divided by 7 is 76 messages. So they're sending 76 messages per day for 7 days. We'll get 532 messages total. You're on your phone too much if you're doing that, right? All right, so that's our solution there. Just draw an arrow there. Okay. So good stuff so far. Again, setting up these equations can be nebulous or confusing, right? Let's go to the next one here. Loving it. Let's go. One afternoon, excuse me, one afternoon, Maggie and her two friends washed their neighborhood's car in order to earn some money. They split the money equally, all right? Maggie and two friends. So that's a total of three. Be careful with that. And each walked away with $3.50. How much did the neighbor pay them for washing the car? So we have three people, right? That's what we know, and they each made $3.50, right? That's what I know. So if I was to go set this up, I have a number, right? I have a number, and I'm going to call that X. This is what they made, right? When they divided it by three, they each got $3.50. So what number divided by three is 350, right? And if we want to solve that, the inverse of division is multiplication, right? X will come down, right? So you just continually have to work backwards, right? And I didn't do that side. I'm kind of veering away from that anyway. Um, but $3.50, three times zero. Three times five is 15. Decimal down, carry the 1, 9 is 10. So how much did they make? $10.50. That divided by three is 350, and you should be in good shape. Okay. Feeling pretty good so far. I would like for you to pause the video and try the next two on your own, setting them up because that practice will be beneficial. Okay. If you're just jumping back in with me, here we go. The perimeter of a square measures 26 centimeters. The perimeter is the distance around. So if we have a square, it's the distance around. What is the length of one side of the square? Well, we know a square has four equal sides, right? So I have 4 times some number. I don't know what the number is going to equal 26. All right, 4 of these. So what I need to do is divide 26 by 4 to figure out the value of our side, or n. I just called it a number. You can call it whatever you would like. Okay, so when we're looking for this, I have 4 sides that are equal. They all equal 26. So just divide that by 4. Divide both sides by 4, n comes down. So let's go ahead and do that. Over here on this side, 4 2s, no, 4 4 6s are 24. Okay, going to add a decimal, take it up, add a 0, bring it down. 4 5s are 20. And there it is. So it's 6 5/10 centimeters. Make sure you label. 6 5/10, 6 5/10, 6 5/10, 6 5/10. They all add up to 26, right? So that makes good sense to me. And I labeled and I'm in good shape. All right. Okay. Feeling pretty good. Again, if you didn't pause it, try to pause it here and then come back with me on number 6. An online streaming subscription is on sale for $41.94 for 6 months. I think that's important. What is the cost of the streaming for 1 month? All right. Well, I know it's $41.96, 6 months. Right. I want to know 1 month. Right. So 6 times some number is going to be $41.96. I know to figure this out, I have to divide this, but I have to set up my equation in opposite terms. So what number times 6 is this? And to figure this out, I balance beam and I tee it up. And I'm going to divide both sides by 6. Okay? This is going to cancel. So I'm going to take $41.96, divide it by 6. And some of you are using your calculator, and I told you that was fine. 6 6s are 36, and we get 5. Decimal up, 9 down. 6 9s are 54. Subtract and get 56. 6 goes into 56. 9 times again, right? That's 54, and we get 2. So it's going to be approximately $6.99 per month, which is pretty good actually nowadays. Okay. So I could have taken that out one more place, but I didn't because I ran out of space, to be honest. So this is the deal today. Looking at this, if you flip it over, it's more the same. You've got to learn to set these equations up. This can be confusing. I understand that. All right. You can use, unless they give you a variable, you can use whatever you want. Set your equation, show your work. Again, showing your work is balance beaming. All right. And the calculator is permitted. All right, guys, have a good day.